Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I am Mike, and today we have a Terrifier 3 and a Scream update for you. Very excited. Feels like I haven't done one of these in a minute. We have been doing a bunch of live streams lately, so I appreciate you guys hanging out with those. We are live Tuesday night this week as well, and we should be live Friday night again. And the biggest news out of this entire update that we're going to talk about today is that the Terrifier 3 trailer has a release date. It's on Wednesday. It's coming to us this Wednesday. The Joker 2 trailer is coming tomorrow. We're going to have coverage of both of those. I'm going to do a reaction to Terrifier 3 for for certain. And so make sure you subscribe, have the bell clipped, all that stupid YouTube crap we have to say legally, because if we don't, then someone will put their finger in our butts. And not in the kind of way that some people like when they feel squirrely. This story came from USA Today today, and it's got all sorts of fun details about Terrifier 3. So they mentioned several times here that this is going to go super Christmassy. Even though it comes out in October, they're really going to lean into the whole Santa Claus element of Art the Clown. We saw, of course, in the little teaser trailer with a little girl opening her presents. Art comes down, he's wearing Santa's costume. I believe we might actually get a scene if they go full craziness, which look at what they did with Terrifier 2. They probably will. I think we may see Art meet Santa Claus on the roof of this house and watch Art murder Santa Claus and steal his clothes, which is just, I want to see that, and that makes me a sick man. And then there's when he gets downstairs and there's the little girl there, and it's like, oh, he's gonna, I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, he says that you can put this character anywhere in any setting, anytime, and it would work. He's just so ridiculous in any situation, said Damien Leone, and he wants to do his own spin on the Maniac Santa. Says, if I put Art the Clown in the Santa suit, now that makes Art fresh again. He's got a great point. Art's so wild and crazy and butt-fuck nuts that you could put the guy in any setting, and he's so wacky and it would work. He also mentions a really interesting thing here about Art that I totally agree with, and that's part of what makes him so interesting and different, and the reason that you're allowed to do these things with this character and be so gross and so gnarly and so sadistic without the crowd feeling just kind of like, I just want to shower now the entire time. I mean, you do have that feeling, but sometimes it can get kind of like, all right, this is just getting depressing at this point, watching all these things happen to these people. But he's so funny and over the top and silly that you almost want to be his friend. And I think that is the best way I've heard what draws people to Art the Clown and Terrifier explain. That's the best explanation I've heard for it. They mention here that Sienna, who was amazing, Lauren Lavera, was so good in the last movie. She was part of the reason that that movie is so successful. And I said it myself, there's no way a 2-hour and 20-minute Terrifier movie can possibly work. And you know what? Fuck my face with an aardvark. It did. It worked wonderfully, and it was entertaining as hell. And they added all this lore to it, and she was a big part of that. But they say that it's not been an easy road for her. She's been in and out of a mental health facility just dealing with all this, not only with what she's been through, but what she's becoming and what her role is in this universe. So that's interesting. I imagine that they're easily going to tie that into, hey, you're acting like a crazy cuckoo cracker, but it's probably just because, you know, this batshit insane awful thing just happened to you. So yeah, let's just spend a couple days, just put this on, get in the little soft room over there, and we'll be fine. But what's really happening to her is way crazier, I imagine. But it also says here that they're fixing to come on down to Cracker Barrel, we're fixing to make you some corn cobs. It says here that they're fixing to reveal a lot more about Art the Clown, the evil entity that he is, which is just what we call Jay's ex-wife. We're gonna learn why the little girl, the pale girl, resurrected Art and what its intentions are and what it's and why it's trying to target Sienna. Some might wonder, oh, are we going to reveal too much? Are we going to take away the mysticism and, like, you know, the wonder, the mystery box that is Art the Clown, kind of like what they did in Rob Zombie's Halloween? It's like, no, he's not supernatural, dude. He just grew up in a trailer.
I'm all broken up here, bitch. I can't work.
You know, you do want them to leave some stuff for us to wonder about, for us to speculate about. They don't want to explain everything to a T. I don't think we have to worry about that with this franchise. I think they do such a good job of just in each movie so far. And there's only been 2. It feels like there's been 4. I know he shows up in All Hallows Eve and whatnot, but yeah, it feels like there's so much more lore to this franchise to dig into. I don't think that this is going to become an issue at all. I think that I'm excited to learn more about it, because right now, I mean, we're watching people birth heads and all this crazy shit. I'm like, you know what? I would like a tiny bit of explanation, please. Thank you. It says, in addition to building out the Terrifier mythology, Leone teases that he'll address Art's connection to Sienna and her late father. The film features Victoria Hayes in a significant role. The disfigured final girl from the original Terrifier is possessed by the entity too, and was last seen in Terrifier 2, of course, birthing Art's fucking head. I love the look of it here. I love that that character is going to play more into it because it's just creepy. And I feel like if Art the Clown's shenanigans start to feel a little tired, we might see this character pop out of a cardboard box in a storage room in the middle of the night and scare the fuck shits out of us. So I'm cool with that. In my mind, I'm literally thinking the Ace Ventura scene where he's wearing the tutu and he pops out of the cardboard box. I like the look of it. A Men's Warehouse guaranteed. You're going to like the way that you shit your pants. We learn more about Speed 2 Cruise Control actor Jason Patric's addition to the cast. The director found out that Jason Patric dressed up as Art for Halloween and then found out it was true, and I guess that led to him being cast in the movie, and of course a mystery role that we don't know about. These are also new images that you're seeing in here, by the way, that were exclusive to USA Today. And that, my friends, is the Terrifier 3 news. Again, the trailer comes out on Wednesday. We will have a reaction to it, so make sure you have notifications turned on. Let's watch that shit together. So in the live stream the other night, Jay and I, we reviewed Twisters, spoiler-free, reviewed Cobra Kai Season 6, spoiler-free, and it was a good time. During that, someone brought this up to me and told me about this in a super chat, and I confused it with some what I believe to be fake news going around Twitter right now. Fake news. It's not true. It's the millennium. Motives are incidental. There was a story going out from someone on YouTube who's just, in my opinion, not to be trusted, and you know it was massively spreading to be fact around everywhere. And I thought that this was a part of that, so I was like, oh no, that's poo-poo. This is actually not. I didn't realize. That was me caught slipping on that one. My bad. But I did see this comes from Production Weekly, with just like a legit thing with you know, official news and dates and stuff like that in it. But we find out that Scream 7's going to start filming this year in Atlanta from September to December, and there's two things super interesting about that to me. Number one, we have several videos where we talk about what could Scream 7 be, what new location could we do, because we already did New York. We're going to try to do a different location. We're going to go back to Woodsboro. What are we going to do? We know it's following Sydney, and Sydney's in Seattle, and I guess you could totally make Atlanta look like Seattle. You can make Toronto look like New York. You can do all that shit for sure, but Atlanta tells me it's definitely going to be a city location, so I think that we're not going to be going back to Woodsboro. That's not to say it's impossible, and then they're not going to go other places as well. But also the dates are super interesting to me. It's going to film from September to December. They're going to be filming during Halloween, and they're going to be filming during the opening of winter. One of the settings that we talked about that would be super fun is if you did see Ghostface in the snow at one point, or even you did Ghostface during Christmas. Now, we just talked about Terrifier doing that, so I don't know if that's the route we want to go now. But yeah, something about Ghostface just for one scene or two wearing a white robe and using the snow as camouflage is just cool as fuck to me. And we know that at one point there was going to be a situation with a white robe as well. But I think that this says that a lot's in play. I know that we're expecting them probably to focus mostly on Sydney and what's going on here, but with them being in Atlanta, they could turn a set into a Seattle situation, but they could also make it look like New York if they wanted to. And by doing that, I think you leave the table open for sure for them to at least check in on what's going on with a couple of our characters if they end up casting the movie, like Chad and Mindy and whatnot. Obviously, it's not going to be Melissa Barrera, it's not going to be Jenna Ortega, but it does leave the door open for them to take a look at New York if that's something that's in the script for them to do. So that's interesting to me. I think it's good news. I think it sounds fun, and again, it does come from Production Weekly, so it is not just this random, hey, I'm going to guess that this could happen, and then I'll look like a genius if I'm right, because there's not a lot of Scream news coming out, and I need video views. So that's what happens, I fear, sometimes, but this is legit, and anything else legit that comes out, we will absolutely cover here, as well as whatever your favorite horror movie news you want to talk about is. We are live Tuesday night. We'll see you with the trailer for Terrifier 3 on Wednesday, maybe something for the Joker trailer tomorrow. I'll probably just watch that in the stream. I don't know. Stay tuned to find out. I love your all's fucking faces. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and we'll see you soon.
Hello, listener. Do you like scary movies? What's your favorite scary movie? Well, Jay and Mike like scary movies too. You should go and subscribe to their podcast, We Watched a Movie. Because if you don't, I'll gut you like a... Well, I think you get the idea. Enjoy yourselves while you still can.